Firstly, Danny, have you ever known a player whose form has literally dropped off a cliff like it has with Dele Alli?
Struggling with that. No, not many.
Can you put your finger on why? Are there reasons why people like yourself, football insiders I call them, that know people that are still at clubs, is there a reason that perhaps we're not being told why his form has changed so much?
There could have been some mitigating circumstances we don't know during his journey to falling down, if you like, the cliff, if you want to use that term. You know, when he's gone from playing brilliant football to a really poor level, inconsistent, and not being able to maintain a place in all these different teams he's tried. Somewhere on that journey, there could have been things happen that we don't know about. Yeah. So, for example, when I was at Tottenham, I didn't publicise. My dad got terminally ill, and I was probably spent the last 3 months with him of his life, so I wasn't playing football. And then when I struggled then at Tottenham and had to leave in the end because I couldn't quite re-establish myself or get going, prospective managers were saying to my agent, "Where's he been? What's happening?" First time in his career, you know, has he had a bad? What's happened? Or has he got problems?
And was your agent being honest with other clubs?
Yeah, he told the truth.
People knew.
They only knew when I started, when there was some interest in whatever club was interested in me at the time. But the point I'm making is, with Dele Alli, he could have been through some things we don't know and he doesn't want to talk about. But there comes a point with anything where you have to have some resilience and have to have some desire to get back to what you love doing. I don't think Robbo loves Dele, and I understand why, and I like Robbo. Carl Robinson, he's a good guy and he speaks a lot of sense, but I don't think you need to fall back in love with football. You never fall out of love with it. You just need someone to give you the platform to show your love for it. It's different. Dele Alli would not be telling anyone he hates football. He might hate sitting watching football because he's not playing and training long hours when you're not playing 90 minutes because you have to do extra training, all those things, but he doesn't hate football. You don't become a Premier League footballer if you hate football or you fall out of love with it. You don't. The passion is so strong. I just think he needs someone to give him the platform to show his passion again. But he's got to help that person. So, for example, I can only relate to my own experiences. Gerard Houllier gave me a carrot at Liverpool and some help on how to get it. So I needed to be fitter. He helped me with it. I needed to change my lifestyle away from the club. He helped me do it. I moved out of Chester, talked to him about it, went on the Wirral nice and quiet, got away from certain people, things, temptations, started looking after myself, started doing more work. I had a fitness guy doing more work with him, but with his help. But I still had to apply myself to do it. So you can't wait for someone to get you back on the rails, but you do need some help along the way. Moving all that aside, do I think he will reach the heights he did before? I don't think so. I think it's too far back to come. But I still think he can have a decent career in the game. He's just got
what level?
His ability is Premier League level.
Okay.
But whether his physicality, and I don't know what injuries he had, I don't know how he is mentally, but he's got to be aiming for a Premier League club to find his home. Okay,
you mentioned Gerard Houllier there. So do you think his next club needs to be based on the manager rather than the club? So for argument's sake, someone like part of the old brigade, like Roy Hodgson, like David Moyes, we saw what happened to Jesse Lingard when he went to West Ham with David. Do you think that Dele Alli should be looking at a manager, or Dele Alli's people should be looking to put him at a club where there's a manager that has been around for some time rather than a new age manager, or not?
Possibly. But I think there's two types of person. I don't know what he is. So you either respect and respond to a sergeant major tyrant type manager who really is on you the whole time to push you and push you, and you go, I'll show you. Or a bit more of the arm around you.
His current one is Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Do you think he could be the manager to get the best out of him?
I think if we were sitting here saying, and he wasn't there, would Sean Dyche be a good manager for someone like Dele Alli? I'd have to say yes.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I would, because he won't take any nonsense, but he'll also help him a little bit. I'm not suggesting you have to do one or the other all the time. Most managers are one way or the other. I think Sean Dyche has definitely got it in him to occasionally put his arm around him and help him along. But when the time is right, I think someone like my gut feeling is where Dele Alli come from and the upbringing he's had, what I've heard, and the type of lad he is. I do think he does need a bit of love, but I think more importantly, he needs ruthless manager who's going to really push him and kick him up the backside.
You still think he's got it at Premier League level?
Not top half.
No, but he can still do a job.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, West Ham, that kind of level? A club pushing for top 10?
Possibly.
Okay.
But he's going to have to do it incrementally.
Okay.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.